Toledo announced plans back in July to upgrade thousands of home water meters to a new smart system. The city said it would prevent inaccurate water bills. The install was promised to be free, quick, and unintrusive. Michael Sandlin joins us live in studio tonight as the installation of these meters begins. And Michael, you talked to a resident who says this upgrade is certainly not free.
Yeah, that's right, Melissa. I met with a mother of 5 in West Toledo who says she was prepared for a hassle-free process as promised. But when the installer took a look at the water valves in her basement, she was in for a rude awakening. It all started with a letter from the city left on the door of the Riggs West Toledo home.
It said, well, we need to get you your water replacement because otherwise we'll turn your water off.
Left with no other option, Brittany Riggs says they immediately scheduled a time for installation. But after only 2 minutes of looking at the system, the installer said more needed to be done.
I learned that we had a bad inlet valve. And a bad inlet valve the cost is anywhere from $350 to $800 replacement.
With 5 mouths to feed, Riggs says it was a price tag her family wasn't prepared to handle and asked if it was something the city intended to cover.
We have the funds to do it, but that's emergency money. This isn't an emergency. It's something that wasn't necessary.
But she says the installer was clear. The price falls squarely on the homeowner. According to Riggs, the city only gave them one alternative, getting approval to dig up their landscaped yard and find the curb stop valve. Looking for clarity on the situation, I reached out to Doug Stevens, who's leading the project for the city.
It's a issue with their private system. So, if there's, again, something we cause, we're going to go and do that. But if you have a leaking valve or a valve that doesn't work at your house, that needs fixed, it's probably costing you money, and you should be fixing that.
But Steven says if you don't want to pay for that install, don't. Instead, you just need to let them get access to the curbside valve, and he promises it doesn't tear up the entire yard like Riggs might have envisioned. He says it requires a paint can-sized hole near the sidewalk, and it would save the family hundreds.
And early on, there were a few that got told that, hey, we're going to have to fix this before we can come back. But that was before we had implemented all of our procedures to allow them to shut the curb valve off and be able to do the work with the water off to the home. So I don't see this happening a lot. It could come up, but we're trying to do everything we can on our end to reduce that to near zero.
Stevens says about 4,000 installs have been completed of the 116,000 meters they intend to install across Toledo. Right now, areas in West Toledo are up for service first, and Stevens says the entire project should be complete by spring of 2024. Reporting in studio, I'm Michael Sandlin of WTOL 11.